10 situations in life where the best thing to do is walk away. We've all been there, right? Stuck in situations we'd rather not be in, feeling like we're trapped with no way out. But what if I told you there's always a way out? That's right. Sometimes the best solution is simply to turn around and walk away. Sure, it's not always easy. It might even feel like you're giving up, admitting defeat. But trust me, that's not it. Walking away can often be the bravest thing to do. In this article, I'm going to show you 10 situations in life where stepping back is the best way forward. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting you run away from your problems. Sometimes running away is just avoiding the issue. But in some cases, walking away is the most powerful choice you can make. Ready to find out more? Let's dive in. 1. When you're in a toxic relationship. Relationships are tricky. On one hand, you want to give it everything you've got to compromise as best as you can. But on the other hand, there are certain things you shouldn't have to sacrifice for the sake of keeping the peace, like your self-esteem, your peace of mind. When a relationship seems to do you more harm than good, that's how you know it's toxic. I remember being in a relationship that felt like it was slowly eroding my self-esteem. The constant arguments, criticism, and negativity were draining me. Yet I kept telling myself things would get better. But you know what? They didn't. When I finally walked away, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. It was tough, yes, but it was also liberating. It's just not worth staying in a relationship that leaves you feeling less than you are. 2. When your job makes you unhappy, you'll feel that same sense of freedom when you walk away from a job that makes you unhappy. I once worked at a job that left me feeling totally unfulfilled. Every morning I'd drag myself out of bed and force myself to go to work. The worst part? I wasn't even sure why I was doing it. Maybe it was the fear of change or the perceived stability it offered. But by the time I hit my 30s, I realized one thing. Life's too short to be unhappy, especially when it comes to something that takes up so much of your time. So, I walked away, found a new job that I loved, and never looked back. The lesson here is, it's okay to walk away from situations that make you unhappy or uncomfortable. Trust your instincts and value your mental health. 3. When you're trying to win an argument on the internet, this is something I've been guilty of as well. I'd come across a comment that was so triggering or annoying that I just had to reply. Well, that was a really foolish move, because the truth is, no one ever actually wins an online argument. Research shows that changing beliefs is extremely difficult, because the fact is, beliefs are tied to identity. Add to that the fact that the exchange isn't even face-to-face, and you'd see that arguing online would likely not be productive. If anything, all you'll do is make the other person dig their heels in even more. So, if you find yourself in a heated debate on social media, choose the wise option, walk away. Instead of wasting your time and energy trying to convince someone else of your viewpoint, use it to do something more productive or enjoyable. That's a better use of your time. 4. When you're holding on to a past mistake, we all make mistakes. It's a part of being human. But holding on to these past errors and letting them define us, that's where the problem lies. It's important to remember that a mistake is not a life sentence. It's a moment in time, a blip on the radar of your life. If you're spending too much time dwelling on past failures, I suggest forgiving yourself and walking away from the guilt and self-blame. The beauty of life is that it's always moving forward, and so should we. 5. When you're stuck in a rut. Speaking of moving forward, another thing you should walk away from is being stuck in a rut. Now, I know that sounds a little too simplistic. I mean, if walking away was easy, you wouldn't be stuck, would you? But as hard as it sounds, that's exactly what you should do. The first step is to simply be brave enough to make a change. A few years back, I found myself in a rut. Every day felt the same, like I was just going through the motions. I was comfortable, but deeply unsatisfied. It took me a while to realize that it was up to me to make a change, so I did. I quit my job, enrolled in a writing course, something I'd always wanted to do, and moved to a new city. Walking away from my comfort zone wasn't easy, but it was necessary. It opened up new opportunities and experiences. Most importantly, it made me realize that I'm in charge of my own happiness. When you're being taken for granted, ever felt like you're constantly giving but not receiving much in return? Whether it's at work, in a relationship, or even with friends, it's a draining experience. Your worth is not defined by how much you can endure. If you feel undervalued or unappreciated, stop and consider your boundaries. I'm a big believer in this. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce. If someone's constantly taking you for granted, show them how you feel by walking away. Otherwise, it will all come to a point. 7. When it's affecting your mental health. Your mental health is paramount, period. If a situation, relationship or environment is causing you stress, anxiety or depression, it's essential to prioritize your well-being. There's no shame in removing yourself from what harms your peace of mind. 8. When you're only staying out of guilt. Guilt. Such a powerful emotion that can keep us stuck in less than ideal situations. Real talk. Staying out of guilt serves no one. Not you nor the other person involved. Both of you deserve to be in a relationship where you both thrive and feel wanted. It might be tough, but walking away can be the most honest thing to do, which brings me to my next point. 9. When your values are compromised. While we're on the topic of honesty, are you in a situation where you have to compromise your values and your integrity? We all have values and beliefs that guide our actions and decisions. You'll know something's not right for you if you feel uncomfortable or uneasy. That's your gut telling you something's amiss, that you're compromising what's truly important to you. Listen to that. Stand up for what you believe in. And if that involves walking away, so be it. 10. When you've done all you can. Finally, there comes a point when you've done all you can do and given all you can give. And yet, the situation remains unchanged. In such cases, walking away is not giving up. It's accepting that you've done your best and that it's the end of the road for you. Walking away isn't always easy, but sometimes it's the best thing we can do for ourselves. And if you need some extra motivation, think about it this way. Every end is a new beginning, and every step away is a step towards something potentially better. Discover a revolutionary new approach to finding your purpose. More and more people these days are struggling with the existential question, what's my purpose in life? But for many, it's difficult to know your true purpose because of the overwhelming influx of societal expectations, distractions, and a lack of introspective tools or guidance. This is why IdeaPod's co-founder Justin Brown has decided to reveal a counterintuitive and revolutionary new approach to finding your real purpose in life. He learned this life-changing technique from a shaman in Brazil and is now committed to sharing it with the world. The technique is a little bit weird, but very logical once you learn it. It's not about visualizing the life you want in the future, and you don't need to sit down and meditate to figure it out. Rather, this is a fresh, groundbreaking approach.